Our guest co-host today is no stranger to being on screen. She's a digital journalist and storyteller. Please welcome Eiten Zeerban. Eiten, I've been a fan of yours. I've been following you for ages. You're so good.
It's so good to be with you, Dina. Well, Dina, Ferris, Ash, so nice to be here with you today. And congrats on the new studio. I have to say, I love it. It's cozy. We're just missing some coffee. I would add some coffee. I think we need some coffee next time.
Now, Eiten, we've got so much to talk to you about. I want to start with podcasts because I think you've done an incredible job of giving a platform to many women. And how do you think it's creating opportunities for all the Arab voices out there?
Honestly, I feel like with the rise in podcasting, well, it's been a couple of years. What I love is that long form content we so deeply miss, right? If you have a story, you don't have to say it within 30 seconds or a 1 minute reel. You can just go and have a proper conversation. And we may have been a bit late to the game, and we're going to discuss that later, perhaps with another guest. But once we started getting into podcasting, that we have so much stories to tell, so many things, especially us as Arabs, right? I mean, I'm sure you listen to podcasts. Do you listen in English or in Arabic?
English. I'm trying to improve my Arabic by listening. I was listening to Anas Bukash the other day, but yeah, I'm trying to improve my Emirati Arabic. Actually, is what I'm doing.
Which is great. I mean, we have our own stories. We have our own things that we want to say, and this is what I tried to do with my podcast, which launched about 4 years ago. It's called Dardasha Unfiltered, which translates to unfiltered conversations. And I felt that us Arab women, we have so many things that we want to talk about and we don't talk about, or if we do talk about, we talk hush behind closed doors. And they don't have to be controversial topics, but sometimes they're just sensitive or uncomfortable. And I wanted to normalize that, not just on social media, but within the podcasting space. So this is one of the things I love to do. And also, as a journalist, I feel like it's not just my story or my point of view. I feel like there are so many women that want to start talking more. So I try to help them through coaching or to help produce their own podcasts to, rise and shine and put their voices out there. So I feel like we're just going.
I'd now have to ask you, we are seeing the rise of a lot of digital first platforms, podcasting, streaming services that are echoing a lot of regional voices. I want to ask you a little bit about your podcast in general. How important do you think it is to have a supportive ecosystem for women in media?
I love that question because I feel like if you're on a path by yourself, it can be so dark and so lonely. But if together we come together and there's space for everyone. People need to focus more on collaborating more than competition because there's space for you, there's space for me, there's space for Dina and for Faris, for anyone who wants to say a story. If you have someone that you're interviewing, chances are we're going to be asking different questions. So that's why I feel like if we come together and we support each other and create this ecosystem of women helping each other, we're going to rise. And I think in line with the Arab Media Summit right now, this is exactly what's been happening. Like someone like Dina, I've been following each other for years, but we don't get the chance to often meet. But if we go to the summit, you're learning, you're exploring, you're getting the chance to ask the questions that you wanted to ask and interacting with the people that you don't get to see much. So these opportunities in this digital world, this is exactly the first step into creating this ecosystem to support each other and grow. You know what I mean? This is one of the things I love about the summit. And the summit this year is bigger than ever. It's going to be about, I want to say, 400 panels. I'm going to be moderating one of them in the field of education, but still I love it. And about 5,000 attendees, a lot of them are university students. So it's a lot of opportunity to meet, connect, grow, and help each other, not compete. And I feel like this energy is much needed right now.
Now you bring up the Arab Media Summit, of course. You were hosting last year as well.
Yeah.
Tell us why you think it's important for so many people to come together and why it's important to have events just like this in the city.
I feel like Dubai is the city of these kind of events, right? If you think about what the Dubai Press Club by itself, they're pulling off every single year. Every single year they have so many events, so many of these, not just to network, but to learn. And like I was saying, you can be sitting at home scrolling on your phone, learning a thing or two, but if you step out of your comfort zone and actually go, and it doesn't come naturally to a lot of people to just go and, go say hi to someone that you've been following or you wanted to follow or you wanted to meet or just learn something new. If you meet one person, that's a bonus. So I honestly encourage everyone who's just thinking of attending, just make time and go and attend. You never know who you're going to meet or what you're going to learn. It's always going to be a plus.
Now, Eiten, I love that you're giving yourself and all these women an opportunity to speak out, but we're also talking about tackling stereotypes, challenging the narrative that's been out there for years. What has been the most important reason for you to get in on this opportunity, but also how would you like to encourage other women out there who are potentially considering a podcast or wanting to speak out or being on YouTube, whatever it is, sharing their story?
Well, I feel like there is, I mean, I'm going to talk about a little bit about censorship, right? If you go anywhere, chances are you're going to be asked to not talk about certain things. And they don't have to be taboo topics, but there are things, you know, like this is our agenda, this is our point of view, please avoid doing this, about doing that. That's why in podcasting, like whatever you're doing, even if it's entertaining or educational or just ranting about something, chances are you are going to reach someone. You're going to be reaching this one person who has something to learn from you. And I mean, I know it seems like everyone's just creating a podcast, but I don't think that's true. I feel like it's the people who are creating a podcast and they are sustaining it and consistently having something to offer. You don't enter this space to, become a public figure or to monetize. I feel like these are the wrong reasons, If you have a clear message and something that you want to educate people on, this is what you do. And, Dina, I love that I get so many women who they feel like, first of all, they have imposter syndrome. They feel like they are experts in their field, but they want to talk about it more, but they don't know if they're worthy. And I keep telling them, if you go and you share your story and you get one person, you touch the life of one person, you've won.
I need to come on your podcast one day and
Please.
we're going to do a whole episode on just imposter syndrome. I mean, it's such a big topic, something I've suffered with for so many years.